Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Stefan playing Stellaris, and today we're going to continue on with episode 20 of our series of Fanatic Purifiers on the Grand Admiral difficulty. So let's begin. Last we left off, we were busy defeating the Calexian Lightning Kingdom and the Prime Core, and we have also stumbled upon the enigmatic fortress. I have sent a science ship to deal with that, and indeed we're going to start researching the project. There's a very specific way you have to go about this to have a good outcome. And I'll go through it in this video. So first thing you gotta do is you gotta send a local power surge, which requires a science ship. We have also gathered quite a bit of fleet power, and so we're pretty much ready to attack Fallen Empire. Now, while the Pithrock Shard does have the largest navy, it is highly specialized, so a lot of its weapons are either point defense or kinetic weapons. Of course, there are these advanced strike craft, which we might have to deal with, but they're only on a couple of their ships. Although that certainly could cause some issues if they do get to our ships and start bombing them. Also, military isolationists have the most interesting events that you can get after defeating them, specifically their shielded world. So for example, we got a shielded world over in Plav, and that's going to be quite interesting because it has a variety of different events that we can get. And I really hope they buff them, actually. Because it does seem that they have buffed the texture of these shielded worlds. But to do this, we're going to need 150k fleet power. And preferably a station. Also, the thing about Fallen Empires is that they have jump drives. And they quite like using them. That means that there's a pretty good chance that we're going to be able to catch them off guard in their minus 50% weapons damage penalty. And that would really reduce any losses that we would have had otherwise. So obviously, first thing we gotta do is send all our fleets to a station and then upgrade the hell out of them. And since we do have our gateways, that means that we're going to be able to go to Ostic and go to somewhere like Kalajam and then warp back. Also, some of my fleets will have to get reinforced, and that's going to be a big part of it. Of course, we can't forget our transport fleets, and so they're gonna hang around us in Ostic. Of course, we are gonna have to leave one of our fleets over in Anchorus in case something goes wrong with the enigmatic fortress.
Special project complete.
Alrighty, fortress, adjusting energy supply. Having stabilized the ship's connection with the power system of the fortress, we must decide how much energy to supply in the first surge. Since the technology is unfamiliar, the exact amount is difficult to determine. Two estimates are available. We're going to have to go with the lower estimate. And we've opened the airlock. So if you go with the higher estimate, the station just reactivates. In fact, if you fail on any one of these options, the fortress reactivates and possibly kills your science ship. At first, the amount of energy supplied to the fortress seemed too small to make a difference. Then, the area surrounding the airlock slowly started to show signs of functioning. With some mechanical tricks and guesswork, the team accessed the controls and managed to open the airlock itself. Although not the cleanest docking procedure, we're now inside Fortress. Fortress, the tower. The away team find their way blocked by a massive bulkhead. The team report there's a recessed alcove to the right, housing a pedestal and contraption wrought in the same black metal as the fortress itself. They believe this device is the key to opening the bulkhead. The leader of the explorers describes it as 3 upright poles spaced equivalently across the top of the pedestal, with 3 rings, metal tori, of varying sizes placed around the leftmost pole, the smallest at the top and the largest at the bottom. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to rearrange the metal tori. Phew. After the course of the action was announced, a moment of silence followed, then vague scraping noises as the team attempted to carry out their plan. Splashing sound, so loud that at first you think the team has been swatted like small insects, followed by cheers from the team as they report that a passage has opened. The bulkhead appears to be rapidly transforming into unpleasant smelling liquid reminiscent of purple quicksilver. Combined with the relatively mundane puzzle mechanism, you have a feeling that the team has been victims of an elaborate prank set up millennia ago. Fortress, the pivot. The team reports that they have reached what appears to be a geometric center of the fortress. Even if the internal geometry leaves some doubt of the concept of a center is irrelevant here. What is indisputably relevant is how the fortress is powered. It makes the team's new discovery all the more interesting. Dark matter is funneled around the fortress and then back to the core, like a cardiovascular system. Though the flow has stopped, the team has found signs that it's starting again. You can take all the time you want to study it, but it needs to be stopped now. Yeah, we can find a way. So we have a couple options. We can go for black hole research if we have a level 5 scientist. However, we clearly do not. We can use force. That's really not going to help. Or we can do home system research. and that's what we're gonna do. Also, Ango's Vapor has really been buffed. Top research production plus 10%. And as for our policies, it has already been selected. So for whatever reason, this policy actually affects every single leader you have, even though that's technically not how it's supposed to work, but I guess that's all good.
Special project complete.
Yep, Fortress, our star witness. Scouring the local star for clues how the fortress was built, we discovered a surprising secret. Fine mist of a nanotechnological cameras has been found in close proximity to the star, acting as the eyes of the fortress and explaining the efficiency of its defenses. Accessing these with data from the fortress, we can view the history of the system all the way back to its construction. However, we are running out of time. Part of the construction process should be a review for answers. The correct answer is the middle. Fortress, the middle path. The middle selection of the footage, although not showing the construction of the core itself, reveals the shipping of the materials to Fortress, which scientists conclude must have been used in the core. This must have been the critical time at which the structure needed the power for construction to continue. With knowledge of these materials, the team inside the Fortress has managed to stop it from repowering. We can reap the fruits of our success. Well deserved, we got the enigmatic encoder and the decoder. Honestly, these are probably the worst things you can get. But we do get the dark matter shields and power cores from defeating the fallen empires, so I guess it's all good. Of course, if we did this in year 66 and not 366, it would have been much more useful to get something like dark matter shields. But since we're already about to go to war with a fallen empire, it's not going to really matter. We could probably get away with building battleships now, because we do have the network of gateways. The main problem with battleships is that they're pretty damn slow, and with gateways that is pretty much negated. What this means is that we're going to have to consolidate our cruiser fleets and then build a couple completely new battleship fleets. First thing we got to do though is actually design a decent battleship. Actually, surprisingly enough, our cruisers aren't that much speedier than our battleships. If we have our afterburners equipped, that is. Maybe we're not even gonna get hurt all that much by that. What that also means is that we're gonna need to go for some point defense on our cruisers. That way they can actually be used in our battleship fleet. Of course, it probably would have been better if we researched some fighter technology, but I guess we're gonna have to go with some scout wings. Also, since we're not gonna have our cruisers be the sole fleet, it's gonna mean that they're gonna get slowed down by battleships. That means that we might as well forego one of the afterburners and go for an nanite repair system. That way there's a higher chance that our cruisers will repair up and survive. And of course we're gonna have two designs of this stuff. We're gonna have the Achilles class cruisers that are gonna be used alone, and we have the battle support for our killmen for our shield of artillery ships. So that should serve us quite nicely.
Technology secured.
You also got dark matter drawing, and now we can build a mining station on that. And right now we can start going for cheap techs and hopefully accelerate our Unity production. We have gotten our next tradition, and we can reduce our building on Starbase upkeep by 10%.
Technology secured.
We've also gotten our improved reactor boosters. Now we can actually go for global energy management. Capacity overload would have been really helpful before, but we just simply did not have that. And yeah, we've gotten our capacity grid, and so now we can go for some neutronium, and I really hope we have that. You know what, I think I'm gonna actually leave Strike Force Infield to be our sole cruiser fleet. Awesome, so now we have our large gathering of fleets that are gonna become part battleship fleets. The Enfield cruisers will stay cruisers, obviously, but these guys will get combined. So probably the best composition we can get with this is 16 cruisers and 8 battleships. And so I'll make sure that all my fleets can do that. Alright, so I have now managed my fleets, and they're all going to have 16 cruisers and 8 battleships. We're all going to have to recruit quite a few admirals, though. Obviously, this is going to cause a massive drain on our economy. However, I expect most of these to die after we fight the Fallen Empire, and so that should be just fine. now we reinforced them all for 85,000 minerals. Bam. And we also gotta upgrade some of these fleets. In fact, we probably should have done that before. Oh well. Now this is obviously going to take years upon years of time to do. And yeah, so that's going to suck a bit, but overall it should be fine. What I've also done is I've actually renamed my fleets so that they're more convenient to read out. And it also looks like our dear Imperator Patrice Remy has died at the very young age of 106 years old. And looks like the game gives me no choice. There's only one leader. So we're gonna abstain. So fortunately we got battleship focus. That's gonna mean that battleship build cost is gonna be reduced a bit. But that's not gonna really matter because we already queued up all our battleships. Although we probably can just manually cancel some of these. Oof. Okay, that did not fare well. Let's not do that actually. We're now gonna start seeing pretty powerful fleets. I expect our fleets to go up to 40k. Although with the quote-unquote downgrade for the cruisers, it may go down to 30k. We also got Anglo Vapor, and now it's actually going to start making sense to go for atmospheric filtering and stuff like that, because all our pops are 60% favorable to all world. Also, our Dyson Sphere is almost complete. We just have one more stage to go, and then it's all good and ready.
Technology secured.
We've gotten our neutronium extraction, and now you can go for auxiliary fire control, just for the hell of it.
Technology secured.
Yep, we got atmospheric filtering, and now we can actually go for fleet templates. That's going to be really helpful, because what this is basically going to do is it's going to allow us to build like 2 more battleships per fleet. Now I'm just going to start going for whatever tech I can. This is not going to really matter to me too much. We also got some of our gateways up and running.
Construction
finally,
complete.
And that's going to really increase the mobility of all my fleets.
Savage hordes touching down.
Oh no, we have a revolt on Desert. How unfortunate. Fortunately though, they're not going to rejoin any empire. So we're just going to declare war.
We have declared
And hopefully
war
that's not going to
safeguard
bite us in the
our
ass again.
interests.
We have our transport fleets very near. And so yeah, that's going to be very nice. The reason for this fleet to exist is that so we can respond very quickly to situations such as these. And so now, all my fleets are ready to go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fleets with about 40k power each. That's about 250. We have 250 fleet power in year 2370 on Grand Admiral. I don't think we're gonna even have to bait these guys. These guys have only about 150k fleet power, and our fleets are pretty good. So I don't see how they can possibly survive this, especially if we have these guys come in. So my previous plan to tomb this world has been cancelled. We're just gonna invade them and then have these guys help. That way we have about 300k fleet power. So whatever comes at us, we're pretty much invincible. We're nearly at cap 2. Unfortunately though, our mineral production has suffered quite extensively.
Construction complete.
We've also gotten an extra Elegant Insight, and now I guess we can go for standardized battleship patterns. So hopefully it's not going to cost us too much to actually reinforce our fleets.
Technology secured.
We've now gotten proton torpedoes, and at this point we can go for physics. 2 months is nothing. Honestly, our battleship fleets aren't that slow. We have our physics lab, and at this point we might as well start going for repeatable tech. Yeah, let's declare war. Purification.
We have declared war to safeguard our interests.
That is music to my ears. Let's attack. Look at that. This is pretty ridiculous, isn't it? It's just ships stacked on top of ships. Now, of course, part of the reason why I'm going with big ships is because, like, going with corvettes will lag the hell out of this game, and I kind of don't want to do that.
Attacking enemy assets.
Holy shit. This looks awesome. Oh, they're actually going over in that direction. Of course, it may be that they're just running the fuck away. Which would be very reasonable of them to do. I mean, if you have this going against you, you're not gonna stand a chance. Yep, they're just fleeing. They know what's gonna happen.
Ground invasion force has seized a planet.
What is this, a 60k station? Unfortunately, our cruiser fleet is actually taking some losses. That's because it's going first. Too fast. Also, one of the most important things to do in this situation is to start researching some of this tech. It also seems like these guys actually changed their mind about running away. So let's meet them head on. Also, it's very unfortunate, but these guys have quite a bit of armies on their planets, so we're going to have to bomb them. Oh, looks like their fleet's arrived. I have never taken out a fallen empire like this before. I have never, ever, just completely and utterly decimated a fallen empire. This is amazing. Yeah, this is truly intimidating. Now we can't actually see what the hell's going on the planet. Now, these guys actually know what's up, and so their planets are completely invincible to our scanners, and pretty much invincible to our bombardment. Even though we have Armageddon on all 6 of my fleets. Like, come on, man. We're gonna have to start taking you over. Oh, look at that. They're trying to rebuild some of their fleets. No chance at all. They never once had a chance. Also, we're finally invading this pesky little empire. Going all good. Now the autocracy of Zert is no more. And now we can use this transport fleet to actually start doing something. Also, we have seized Boundary. And we can see that it's a pretty good planet. So we're going to have to resettle some of our pops. The core, though, is a lot more heavily fortified. And we're going to have to wait for our second fleet to arrive. For now, though, we're going to take over Zerk. Oh no! I'm actually trapped in the system. So because these fleets landed on Boundary and came back up, it looks like it reset the direction for where they came out of. And so we can't actually move. So we're gonna have to jump. Also, it is very stupid for these guys to go first. Honestly. But overall, it worked out. I may actually want cruisers to stay the hell out of any engagement that we're in. Yeah, we got dark matter deflectors and dark matter power. Something we would have gotten from the station. Yeah, whatever. Let's go for shields. It also looks like their navy cluster has finally coming in. That means that we can retaliate. Let's go normally and not lose all of our fleets. Oh, they're actually running away. Looks like we're gonna have to just invade their planets and have both my armies come at them at the same time. Because I don't think we can take down the core with just one transport fleet. Huh, you know what? Actually, we might not have to research this stuff. Because we get dark matter propulsion, dark matter power, and dark matter deflectors, and we have progress for all of them. And so we're probably gonna research it as is. So let's not do that. Let's continue on with energy open damage. Yep, 5.2k against 1.7k. Let's see how that works out. We've got fluid fleet templates, and now I guess we can go for fleet command limit once more, and then we can consolidate some of these fleets because managing 6 at the same time is kind of inconvenient. Overall, though, there's pretty good resistance at the core. If we didn't have like 5k army capacity, that would have really done us bad.
Ground invasion force has seized a planet.
Yep, we have taken the core. What are you gonna do now, Fallen Empire? What are you gonna do now? We're also gonna want our cruisers to go ahead to Plav and actually take the system. because I don't want to reclaim it. Plus, these stations are pretty fancy. I hate how they keep jumping around into the Jamor Star Dynasty. That's so irritating, because we can't actually get them there. Fortunately though, they're gonna move out. I assume they're going for the cruisers, right? Let's get out of their way for now. Also, our edicts expired. Let's renew them. Oh goddammit, I accidentally went for capacity overload. And now we have 1.7k energy production.
Ground invasion force has seized a planet.
We have seized Hez, and now hopefully these fleets are gonna come at me. Yep. Now we could just take over the planet and not have to deal with them, but we're gonna lack on some technology in that case. We've also got standardized battleship patterns, and now we can go for improved battleship hulls. Yep, they're coming at us. Consolidate and attack them. How sad. The Fallen Empire. These militaristic freaks who only focus on their military prowess have pretty much gotten destroyed. Their last planet is about to experience an invasion, likes of which they have never seen before.
Planetary invasion commenced.
Oh no, they have their last little chunk of fleets. How awful. They'll get destroyed by their own station. How tragic. The last little fleet
Ground invasion force has seized
destroyed by their own. Now, the ancient precursor state of Pithrock Shard has met its final demise at the hands of its enemies. What the fall of this once grand empire will mean for the galactic politics remains to be seen. Well, actually, we know what this is going to mean. That means that the Hejim Guardian and the Hockfeller Conservers are going down too. Overall, I think this was a pretty good episode. Unfortunately, they have captured some of our stations, and in the end, they got demounted. But we captured all their worlds, including Holy Worlds. Now, if we were in the late game, that would have triggered some of these to go ballistic and just completely attack us. But fortunately, we're not. And in fact, we're going to go ballistic and attack them before they can attack us. So see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.